OZM-3, the first Soviet bounding mine. When triggered, it leaps from the ground before detonation. Introduction. The OZM-3 represents a crucial step in the Soviet Union's evolution of anti-personnel mines. Unlike static stake mines such as the POMZ-2, the OZM-3 was designed to jump into the air before exploding, maximizing its lethal potential by showering fragmentation at chest height. This bounding mine concept was not unique to the Soviets. It was directly inspired by the German S-mine, infamously nicknamed the Bouncing Betty, which terrorized Allied infantry during World War II. From a NATO weapons expert's perspective, the OZM-3 was the Soviet Union's first serious attempt to replicate and adapt this devastating technology for its own defensive doctrine. Though crude by modern standards, the OZM-3 set the foundation for later, more effective bounding mines, such as the OZM-4, OZM-72, and OZM-152, which would become staples of Warsaw-packed minefields during the Cold War. Design and characteristics. Structure. The OZM-3 consists of a heavy cylindrical steel body filled with explosive, TNT, and surrounded by pre-fragmented casing. Fuse. Typically employed with an MUV pull fuse connected to a tripwire. When triggered, a propelling charge launches the mine into the air. Bounding action. Once airborne, a secondary charge detonates, dispersing lethal fragments horizontally. Lethal radius. Effective casualty radius is estimated at 20 to 25 meters, with dangerous fragments reaching up to 100 meters. From NATO technical trials, the OZM-3 proved capable of inflicting multiple casualties with a single detonation, especially against closely packed infantry units. Tactical role. The OZM-3 was intended to deny infantry movement through choke points, defensive perimeters, and forest trails. Amplify psychological impact. The unpredictability of a bounding explosion was far more terrifying than static mines. Work in combination with anti-tank mines, creating mixed minefields that were difficult for engineers to clear under fire. Soviet doctrine emphasized the use of bounding mines along likely infantry assault routes. Their ability to cause severe fragmentation wounds made them force multipliers in defensive operations. Operational history. The OZM-3 entered service in the late 1940s and was widely exported. Documented use includes Eastern Europe, stockpiled and integrated into Warsaw Pact plans, Vietnam War, supplied to North Vietnamese forces where they caused heavy U.S. and ARVN casualties, Afghanistan, 1979 to 1989, Soviet troops used OZM series mines extensively against Mujahideen infiltration routes. By the 1960s, the OZM-3 was largely replaced by improved models, OZM-4 and OZM-72, but large stockpiles ensured it remained in circulation for decades. NATO assessment. From NATO's standpoint, the OZM-3 marked a significant leap in Soviet mine warfare. Compared to earlier static mines, its airburst fragmentation pattern dramatically increased lethality. NATO engineers classified it as a high-threat mine during Cold War exercises, and countermeasures were specifically designed with bounding mines in mind. But its disadvantages were clear. Heavy and bulky compared to simple stake mines, primitive fusing system prone to failure in wet conditions, dangerous to handle even for friendly forces. Nonetheless, its battlefield effect far outweighed these limitations. Humanitarian legacy. Like the German S-mine, the OZM-3 inflicted horrific injuries on civilians in post-conflict areas. Its bounding action meant that fragments struck at upper body and head level, leading to higher fatality rates than ground-level mines. Decades after conflicts, unexploded OZM-3 mines have been discovered in Vietnam, Cambodia, Angola, and Afghanistan. For NATO-led demining teams, these mines remain a priority for clearance operations. The OZM-3 may appear rudimentary today, but in its time it was a revolutionary addition to the Soviet mine arsenal. By adopting the bounding mine principle, the Soviets demonstrated their willingness to blend foreign concepts with mass production efficiency, producing a weapon that was simple, deadly, and psychologically devastating. For NATO forces, the OZM-3 was more than just another mine. It was proof that the Soviet Union had embraced advanced infantry denial technology, ensuring that the legacy of the German S-mine would live well into the Cold War era.